MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop if you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag. Hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV as we are out here at Iowa Speedway for the Upstate Racing League meet and greet. What a special event planned out here tonight, and it is going to be a question and answer session while these guys shake down their pro late models, the Monte Carlo SS. But you know what? Talking about shaking things down and getting set up and ready for this upcoming season, I have in the booth with me Kelly Dahl. Kelly, welcome to MaxSpeedTV. As a broadcaster for this Upstate Racing League, you're no stranger to these guys, but glad to have you here for this season.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here, and I've been really looking forward to this. I mean, I commentated on these guys on their previous season, and every race was just a thrill to watch. I mean, there's battles all the way through. You don't just have one guy running away with it every week. And we had one guy really dominate the standings. That was Matt Cucker last season. But every race he was being challenged and really had to fight everyone off. And I've also raced with these guys on their dirt series. And from the top to bottom, like from all the way from the admins to the drivers and even the guys that are running around in last place, every single one of them is just a fantastic person. They're all great guys. So we're going to see a lot of strong and hard racing, but it's also going to be very clean racing. So almost from an entertainment standpoint, that's not really what you want to see, because we kind of want to see the drama and be able to commentate on the drama. But just as a racing fan, it's just good to see guys give each other the respect they deserve on the track, and it should just prove to be a fun season.
Well, we look forward to the season that is going to be kicking off October 18th, Thursday nights. We have 15 races plus an all-star race that will happen December 20th. So a full season here, a lot of action. It's going to be running up into close to the end of February. So a whole lot of good stuff coming your way with these guys. Kelly, what do you know about some of these drivers? Who are some of the people we should watch out for?
Well, definitely watch out for Matt Cucker throughout the season. Another one to watch out for is Steph Marinak, another very fast driver, and really you got to keep an eye out throughout the entire field. We're going to have people, some people are going to be stronger at the tracks than others, but really throughout the whole field there's going to be battles, but definitely towards the front, I'd watch for Marinak and Cucker to really pick up where they left off last season and go to battle for those race wins.
Steph Marinak, one of the drivers to be keeping an eye on. Is there maybe a surprise newcomer that you're happy to see out here?
I'd probably take an eye out for Brett Bartels. I don't know how good he is on the pavement side, but we raced with him in the dirt on one of the Upstate Racing League's dirt series, and that guy was fast on the dirt. So maybe we'll have to take a look, and maybe he can have some speed on the pavement side as well.
All right, Kelly. Well, you know what? I think we've heard enough about us, even though this show, we are the center of attention. what do you say we get a word in or two with some of our admins out here?
Yeah, it'd be great to catch up with those guys that can tell us a lot about the league and really what they're expecting to see since at the start of the season in a couple weeks.
All right, so speaking of league admins, first one up, we got Al Smith in the 96 machine. Al, league owner, operator, admin for the Upstate Racing League. What do you know?
What don't I know, KR? I think it's shaping up to be one of the best seasons for the URL. We got ready to go with our Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series. We just wrapped up our approval series, and we're getting ready to lift the lid on our 8th season. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for 8 seasons, but it's been a long time, and it's fun. We got a good group of guys. It's going to be a great season, I think.
Well, it is shaping up to be a very interesting season. I don't know how great it's going to be with me involved in it, but you did bring along Kelly, so a relationship is already established there. So Kelly, how about you take this away for us?
Well, Al, you said this is the 8th season, and what do you think is the key to the success of just having a long-running series like this?
I think it's really, I can't do it alone, and it's having a good group of admins and a good group. We have a driver council that's set up to kind of help out with the day-to-day stuff, and do it. Just having all that, the sponsors, taking care of our sponsors. We got a good load of sponsors and everything, but it's just it's a whole big behind the scenes. A lot of effort gets put into it. Just because we race for 3 months out of the season, we are just continuously working on this thing year round, and just grateful that we have the support that we do, and hopefully we can just have a great season. Once again, last season was a record year for us, and a lot of green flag laps, a lot of great racing. So hopefully we get some more of that this season here as we get ready to kick it off on October 18th.
Yeah, one thing you said there is that we only race a couple months out of the year in this league. I mean, it's not one of those leagues where you guys race for 12 weeks, have a week off, and then you get into another season. You guys have a very long off season, and as you were mentioning, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes. And would you like to maybe go lift the curtain a little bit? What did you guys do behind the scenes over this long off season to really prepare this season to be maybe what we hope to be the best one yet?
Just kind of going through our rule book, and just the experience level of having 7 prior seasons. You see a little bit of everything, and what you need in the rule book, what you don't need in the rule book, and all that stuff, Kelly. But it's just really sponsor hunting, and we got a great partner with Coach's Corner Pro Late Model Series, and that looks like it's going to be a multi-year deal, so that's very good for us and all our continued sponsors and our drivers, and just building those relationships and all that. It's more, you become more of I guess like a family or extended family with the more that you race with these guys. And while we're not racing, we're doing Facebook Live videos and promoting stuff and having special races. So just because we don't race the late models year round, we have other stuff going on, and we got our dirt program that's going to be rolled out in 2019. So I think you're going to see a lot more of the URL, but with different disciplines, but the high level of racing and quality that you're going to see this season.
Well, we've had a very long off season, a long time for the hype to build. What has been the one thing you've been looking forward to over the off season?
I think just getting back on track and seeing if we can build the momentum that we had from last season. We had a lot of green flag racing, a lot of green flag laps, and everything like that. Kelly. So we had our approval series, which was like we just picked right off where we got a good batch of drivers that are been clean, and we can race side by side and have fun and stuff like that. So you know, with that stuff being like that, it makes it a lot of fun, and look forward to getting back at it when you got a good group of guys and you can get a lot of green flag laps in and not be pacing. You know, we do run a lot of short tracks, so yeah, we're gonna have a few yellows, but you know, a few is better than a lot.
Well, Al, thank you for taking the time to come and talk to us. It sounds like you're looking forward to the season just as much as we are, and hopefully in a couple weeks' time when this all kicks off, we have a fantastic show for everyone.
I hope so. I hope to be right up there at the front of it too, so you guys are talking about, as KR likes to call it, the butt stang. But we got a very potent Ford Mustang contingent and a lot of Fords out here in the field this year, and that's new this year. Also, I should probably mention that is you know, we have our manufacturer award too, so we got Fords, Dodges, Chevys, and Toyotas all competing for the manufacturer award, so that'll be kind of fun, something a little extra, plus our rookie of the year, so rookie field is stacked, and we're going to get to meet some of these guys here pretty soon. So but no, thank you guys for coming out for media night, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
All right, KR, well, that was Al Smith, and he does bring up a good point that we'll have to talk about throughout the season, and that's the manufacturer challenge. And I'm personally a little biased. I work for Fords. I've kind of drank the Kool-Aid. I'm all about the blue oval now, so I'm going to have to try my best to be unbiased when it comes down to talking about that little championship that we have going on throughout the season.
Well, sure, you be unbiased. I'll be biased for you. Chevy's going to win it.
Well, there we go. Then we'll have we have our own biases up in the booth, and I guess Toyota's is a little bit left out in the lurch by themselves. Then,
does Toyota even do they know that more than 4 cylinders exist?
We've got a few guys that are repping the Toyotas for this series, so we will have to keep an eye out for that. I'm trying to pull up the roster now to take a look at that. I think there is 4 or 5 drivers themselves that'll be running with that the Toyota nose on and the Toyota power underneath the hood of their cars. But like I said, I'm a little biased towards the blue oval.
All right, well, you enjoy the blue oval. I will enjoy the bow tie. But it's going to be an exciting season all year long. Well, won't be a year, but a season long. And, well, Kelly, who do you think we should talk to next?
Well, I think we should maybe go from one admin to the other one that we have here, and that's AJ Hamill. And another thing about the race, the series admins that we have, they are drivers as well. So AJ Hamill, just like our good friend Al Smith, he's also going to be driving. He's going to be the driver of the number 18 machine.
So AJ Hamill, we got him on the microphone here. Mr. Hamill, how you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
I'll tell you what, it's been exciting up here so far. Just found out that Kelly is a fan of the Fords, so that means I automatically am already faster than him.
That's a true statement.
All right, so Mr. Hamill, first of all, Media Day meet and greet out here tonight. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do here in the Upstate Racing League.
Oh, on the track or off? Both?
Yes.
Let's go off the track. I help out Al as one of his admins. Joined the league 3 falls ago. This will be the 4th season. And I got on his initial drivers council for 2 seasons ago. And I got, I guess we'll air quote, promoted to the admin team along with Justin Macduff last spring. I talked him into letting me do up that lovely website you're looking at with all the stats. And just try to help him keep order, get stuff done.
Now, getting this stuff done, as a admin and a driver, how are you able to maintain all of that while also driving in a Toyota?
Well, I ignore the admin stuff in favor of driving because, I mean, let's face it, what's more important? But not really. during the race, Al handles all the heavy lifting for us, which is nice because I'm wearing these Oculus Rift goggles and it'd be hard to type anything if I had to.
Well, AJ, we see you, right here, no stranger to MaxSpeedTV broadcasts as you're part of Racing for a Cause. But now you're Upstate Racing League. So what can we expect from the Upstate Racing League?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you and I chat every other Thursday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes a few in a row in the post race on the podiums, and that's a lot of fun. I love doing that. That doesn't happen a lot on Thursday nights. I have 3 podiums in my career, and they were all 2 seasons ago. Because for whatever reason, when people show up here on Thursday, they bring their A game, and it's tough out here. Where was I starting with? What was the original question?
Well, just what can we expect from the Upstate Racing League, and what do you think these drivers bring to the racing format?
I'm with you. You're going to get a couple of really, really quick guys out here. Our defending champ, Matt Cucker, signed back up. He is ridiculous on these cars, just week in and week out. A huge challenge. Not even someone I attempt to compete with. But you got a couple other guys. My new Empire Racing teammate, Stefan Marinak, he can hang with him. He won 5 races last year, and we're hoping he'll compete with him this year. You see Sean Cool a lot on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. He's really upped his game. I think he can compete with him. And then I'm not going to name this, let's call it the second tier, because it includes a ton of people. It has been sorry, I got to switch buttons. There are a lot of guys in this, let's call it second tier, that it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get even a 4th. Because depending on the week, depending on the track, different guys are going to show their strengths. And I don't know, there's 5, 10 guys, maybe even more, depending on attrition, that I think have a legit shot at that at those spots week in, week out. It's going to be, what's the term we use? Some of the most competitive racing, which does not mean we have a league full of NASCAR drivers. It means we have a lot of guys who show respect, race close and race clean, and are all really close in ability, which is a fun challenge.
Well, AJ, I've been hogging all your time. Kelly, any questions for AJ that you have?
Yeah, AJ, we got a number of races here this season, but what is the track you're looking forward to the most?
Ooh, good one. Well, Al likes to construct the schedule in a way that is against my preferences, because he's just he hates me apparently. But probably, I guess, Southern National has been a place that I've taken a liking to, and we just ran there a few weeks ago in the approval series, and while it didn't qualify well, the long run speed was really good, and until I got squished on a restart, was pushing Sean and Stefan for some top spots. So I'll be looking forward. I think it's week 4. Also Stafford in race number 9, the Arts Barbershop 125 at Stafford, my sponsor that we're probably looking at. So looking forward to that one too. I usually run pretty well there.
All right, well, hopefully we'll see you at those 2 tracks that you just named there, and hopefully you do have a good showing at those 2 tracks, and maybe you'll have a few kind of sleeper tracks as well there you just kind of come out of nowhere and take it away. But we'll hope to see you many, many times throughout the rest of the season, and good luck to you, AJ.
All right, thanks.
So, KR, now that we've talked to the 2 admins, and I guess they are kind of drivers as well, but I think it's now we start getting down to the rest of the field for the series.
We sure can. We can go through some of these guys, and their duties solely within the league is to put on a show, drive the cars as fast as they can. And Kelly, which one of these guys would you like to talk to first?
Well, I'd say we go from the top. Looks like a number of drivers have called it for the night, but I think we've got number 14. I think Blake Neer is one of our drivers that we could definitely talk to before maybe we could catch him before he decides to run away. But he is actually one of the rookies of the season, so definitely be good to hear from a fresh face around here.
All right, Blake Neer, this is KR and Kelly. How you doing out there tonight?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Kelly, as a Upstate Racing League alum, how about you and Blake? Tell us what to expect here.
Well, we're looking forward to a long season of racing, 15 races total for the season. And Blake, you're one of the numbers of rookies here that are going to be gunning for that Rookie of the Year title. And how do you feel about your chances?
Well, I feel okay. Like, not unreal, but pretty good. We won one of the Approval Series races out of 3 starts, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's definitely a good glimpse into the future of because the Approval Series isn't just the rookies. There are a number of the full-time drivers that race in the Approval Series just to kind of test out the new guys. So Blake getting a win there is definitely a good sign, but we've got a 15 race season up ahead of us, and which of these tracks are you looking forward to the most?
Not Iowa. Not that one.
Yeah, Iowa is definitely one of the more different tracks kind of on the schedule.
Are we going to Thompson? I don't even know.
I believe we are going to Thompson at what point? I do not know. Actually, I'm looking at it. No, we are not going to Thompson Speedway.
Any other track except Iowa.
Well, unfortunately, in a couple weeks' time, we are starting off here at Iowa, which is the main reason why we are practicing here tonight. And taking a look at your times, however, you may say that you don't like Iowa, but you're running in 4th place in the timings right now, and really being behind a couple of guys that are in front of you. That's pretty good company to be in. You're up with Sean Cool, Will Drebecky, Brett Bartels. Those are the only guys in front of you, and I'd say that you're in a decent spot to go to Iowa for someone that says they're not looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's just not like the track. You drive it different. Not a lot of braking.
Well, as a fresh face to the Upstate Racing League, what is it that you're really looking forward to in this league?
The trophy at the end, the car.
Yeah, it is something we haven't talked about. The awards that are given out at this league, they have an actual awards banquet for these guys that are able to make it upstate New York. They'll have everyone out there. They'll have an awards banquet, and the champion of this series, they get a custom die cast of their car, and it's not some cheap little thing either. This is a very high quality car, and honestly, that's what got they were offering something similar for the sprint car series, and that's what got me racing there. So that's definitely a good motivating factor for a lot of these drivers. And really, it may not always be about the money, but the money helps.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if I win the championship, which I probably won't, but I'm up in Canada, I will come down for the banquet probably.
Hey, I'm on Western Canada. I'm still trying to see if Al will fly me out, but I don't think I bring in enough money for him to spend money on me, but we'll see what we can do, and hopefully I will see you out there, and maybe you'll be the one lifting that custom diecast at the end of the season. But before we let you go, hopefully we'll see you many times throughout the season. Thank you very much for stopping by with us, and again, hopefully maybe in 2 weeks' time, who knows, we may actually see you again at the podium here at Iowa.
Yeah, I doubt that, but different track maybe. Thanks.
Well,
guys.
maybe at that other track we'll see you then. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us, Blake. Well, KR, so that's hearing from one of our rookies, Blake Neer, and we've got a number of drivers out here tonight. And who are you wanting to pull aside and talk to next?
Let's talk to the 30 of Will Drebecky. Let's see. Yep, there he is. I got him. Will Drebecky, this is Kelly and KR up here in the meet and greet session. You got your 5 minutes of fame. Tell us why you're so famous.
I don't know so much about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're out here with the Upstate Racing League. It's practice night here at Iowa, and that 30 machine looked good in the approval series. What can we expect out of you here in the Pro Series?
Well, I think I'll be going for it a little bit more. I mean, the objective of the approval series was to get approved, take it easy, stay clean. I can take a little more chances now that we're in. Could run up front. I'm used to running with some of these guys. Ran in other leagues with them, so I feel pretty good about chances. Maybe steal a win or two here or there.
Now, we do have a question from YouTube chat. What is the hardest track to drive on in the Pro Late Model Series?
I'd have to say Concord, but we don't go there this year, so that last race in the approval series, that was a tough race.
It was a tough one, but you managed a good finish out of that. But out here tonight doing some practice, we got Kelly up here. I don't want to hog all the time. Kelly, how about you take it away?
Well, we saw that. Well, he asked. I've been kind of asking everyone this question: what is the track that you're looking forward to this season? It's a long season, 15 races, pretty much all short tracks. Because I mean, what else are you gonna do in late models? But what's the one track that you've kind of just got circled on your calendar?
Well, the best answer to that is always the first one. So, Iowa, but really, in all actuality, I think Five Flags is probably my favorite place to run. So when we go there, I always think it's a lot of fun to race that track.
Now, I don't know if you've looked back into maybe any of the previous seasons, or maybe you kind of looked at some of the long-time runners that were helping on the approval series. But as a rookie, what are the guys that you're kind of watching for in the upcoming season?
Well, obviously, easy answer to that is Matt Cocker. I race with him plenty in these late models, in another late model league. We got Sean Cool. He's at the top of the board here tonight. He was pretty tough in the approval series. You know, he got some wins. Stefan Marinak, I think I only raced him once or twice, but he seems to be an outstanding driver. And then you got AJ Hamill and Macduff. If he ever gets his equipment back together, they'll be pretty strong competitors too. But I got a team of guys that we'll put up some good times throughout the year. So we'll be a team of newbies that'll be able to hold our own, I think.
Yeah, not just newbies. You've got a couple guys that are there with you, and possibly one of the biggest names there is actually Guillaume Fortin, who's been a bit of a name around here. But you guys seem to be all repping the Toyotas in the kind of manufacturer showdown. Do you guys think you've got what it takes to really take it to the Chevy, the Ford, and the couple of Dodge guys that are out there?
I don't really worry about the blue oval junk too much. But the Chevy might be a little tougher to deal with.
Yeah, KR's laughing over there. No, but we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the season. But hopefully we'll talk to you again in a few weeks' time when you come up here to Iowa, and maybe we'll see you kind of be one of the contenders in the Rookie of the Year running.
Yeah, I think I have a good chance at that, and I'm sure I'll get to talk to you fellas again.
And we'll definitely hopefully talk to you again. KR, anything you'd like to say to Will before we send him on his way?
No, I look forward to the season with you, Will, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, you guys. It's always fun to go back and watch the races afterwards, and here we go.
All right, that is Will Drebecky, driver of the 30 machine, part of the 09 Motorsports. While we're at 09 Motorsports, why don't we go ahead, and I am trying to find the 16 of Paul Hanley. Paul, in that 16 machine, how you doing out there tonight?
Not doing too bad. Trying to get a feel for the track. I always probably one of my weak points, and I gotta get some more practice in and figure out the line everybody else is hitting.
Well, as we got some cars spinning right behind you as you come to a rest on the backstretch. Paul, we heard a little rumor that you're getting married?
Yes, sir. I'm getting married this Saturday.
This Saturday? What? What are you doing out here right now practicing when you should be out trying to make sure that the little lady isn't running somewhere far, far away?
Well, actually, this is my stress reliever. This is where I get my mind off of all the busy part of weddings and all the stress that comes with it. So this is me taking a break, and even though it's not much of a break with the competition that's out here, this is a good distraction.
All right, Paul. Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna let Kelly take this one over, and he's gonna give a few questions here. But before I do that, what are your thoughts on somebody watching all the way from Belgium?
I think that is awesome. I think promoting to the whole entire world would be the best way to do things in this league. It would make the league grow tremendously. It's already an amazing, fantastic league run by amazing people, and you guys are an awesome broadcast. So I think if we can get it out there to Belgium, to any place in the world, I think that would be a win in itself.
Well, I'll take it over from here, KR. So, Paul, you're one of the numerous rookies that we were talking to here to start the show. But with being part of part of this league, racing in it for the first time, what is like the big thing that drew you to this league and has gotten you excited for this season?
I would say respect. There's a tremendous amount of respect in this league. So much give and take that I've never seen before. And yeah, everybody's racing as hard as they possibly can. It's very rare in a lot of leagues. A lot of people take competition a little bit too serious and will do things that they shouldn't do. In the approval series, I learned that I'm with a good group of people, a good team, good admins. And the other thing personally for me, I'm from New York. A lot of people in this league are actually from New York, so I think that's pretty cool. And where they hold the banquet is not too far from where I live, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I think I'm the farthest away from the where everyone is in this league out here in the West, but you're one of the numerous rookies. You got to see a few of them in the approval series, and after seeing them race, how are you feeling about the Rookie of the Year championship?
It's going to be extremely tough. There is a good handful of guys that if you don't bring your A game, you're going to be out of luck. After seeing what I saw in the approval series, I'm not even sure if I could even get in the top 5 with that kind of competition. It's very stiff. It's very competitive. You can't make any mistakes or people will jump on it and then you won't get it back. And let alone, we're racing with the guys from last year in the Pro Series, like Matt Cocker and a couple of those guys. It's just going to be, you have to be perfect in order to have a good chance. And I have a lot of work to do, but I'm willing to put the time in.
Well, you've got a lot of work to do, but you've got some help. You've got the 09 Motorsport guys, and hopefully they give you the help that you need, and hopefully we'll see you maybe in a few weeks' time, maybe a little further down in the season, but hopefully at some point in this season we'll be able to talk to you again, maybe in one of those top 3 positions. So hopefully we'll see you again soon, Paul.
Absolutely, and thank you for hosting us. Thanks for all that you guys do for us. Thanks for this awesome league. Thanks to my teammates, 09 Motorsports, our sponsors, Croak and Toes, and all the other guys that are with us. So thank you guys, and can't wait to get the season started.
All right, that was Paul Hanley in the 16 machine. Kelly, I made this decision to talk to Paul. You get to pick the next one.
We've got a number of cars to pick from, but I'd say I would like to talk to the number 24 of Sean Cool, the guy currently at the top of the leaderboard in this practice session. And one guy that I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this season.
Sean Cool, this is KR and Kelly. How you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing great. How you guys?
You know what? If we'd be any better, we'd be on top of the speed charts here at practice at Iowa.
Well, then I guess I'm in a pretty good place, huh?
Not too bad of a place. Kelly wanted to talk to you, so Kelly, why don't you take this one away?
John, you had a great showing last season. You're one of the few guys that were able to steal a win away from the really the kind of dynamite duo of Cucker and Marinac and their little, we'll almost say blood battle for the championship. But you also were very consistent in placing towards the front a lot last season. And you always just kind of seemed that one step behind those guys. But what did you change in the offseason to really change up your driving style and be able to come after those two guys this season?
Just seat time. We've been doing a lot of racing in the off-season of URL at a partner league with a lot of the guys that we normally race with in URL, plus a bunch that are over there also. And I think for the most part, it's been a pretty big help. I don't think that driving these cars, night after night hurts. So I think that there's been a lot more seat time, and a lot more has been learned since last season. And last season was a lot of fun. There was a lot of good that came out of last season that we can be proud of. But I think I'm going to come out this season with a little bit more tools in the toolbox and ready to go at it.
Right. Well, you led 100 laps total last season out of the 15 races. Are you thinking that number's going to go up this season? And if so, what's your plan to, once you get yourself to the front of the field, what's the plan to hold everyone off?
Man, I sure hope it goes up. 100 laps out of all the laps that we ran wasn't much. Stefan and Matt took control last season, and there was some other front runners as well. They did a really nice job leading laps and that. But if we can get that to go up, that'll be a nice improvement on the season, and hopefully we can get it to go up enough to try and be able to battle for a championship. I think just mastering qualifying a little bit this season is going to be a big deal. There's a little bit of a change this season with the handicapper and how qualifying is going to work, which I think is going to be a kind of a new thing for everybody to get a feel for and understand. And I think, I think if we can master qualifying and start a little farther up front in the races, we won't have to drive as hard to get to the front, and we'll have a little bit of car left when we're up there.
Well, I'm looking at your past stats. This is your third season here. Your first season, you came 20th in points, had only one lap led, and then your second season, you come with 6th in points, 100 laps led, and you steal a win away. I'm thinking you've got, if you're going to keep following the curve, I think you might be up there with with Marinac and Cucker. And really, if you're up there battling with those guys, you saw a lot of them last season. What's the plan to be able to take those guys on in a head-on battle?
Really just try and stay with them, try and manage the car and keep enough car towards the end of the race to actually be able to fight with them. I think part of the biggest thing last season was they were just so good at driving quick throughout the race but saving their stuff at the same time. And if I can get a little bit better at that throughout the course of this season, then it'll be a dogfight throughout the rest of it. And hopefully 2018, 2019 will be a 3-way or 4-way or 5-way battle, or however much it's going to be. Hopefully I'm part of it.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming to talk to us, Sean, and hopefully we'll see you again in a couple weeks' time, and hopefully see you many, many times throughout the season.
I hope so. Hopefully we get to talk to you after races.
All right, KR, that was Sean Cool, possibly one of our championship contenders, but we're not going to be able to really tell for sure until we see what happens in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah, Sean Cool, a very stout driver, part of the Racing for a Cause stable as well. So very familiar with his talents behind the wheel. But I got to tell you, we got to hurry this along. We're quickly running out of time, so trying to find the next person who to talk to. Is there someone you have in mind?
Yeah, well, there's a number of drivers we have out there, but maybe we could steal away the driver of the 413 of Wayne Macduff.
Wayne Macduff in the 413. He is no stranger to me either. Let's pull him down here. Wayne Macduff, how you doing out there tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'll tell you what, Kelly, you're doing such a great job. Take this one away as well.
Well, Wayne, it's been a while since I've talked to you. I think it's been since the Sprint Car series, but now we're back on the pavement, the late model side of things. But we've also got something new to this series. We've been talking about it a couple times tonight. It's the manufacturer. I kind of call it the manufacturer challenge here. We've got a number of drivers. We've talked to some Fords, we've talked to some Chevys, talked to some Toyota drivers. I think you're the first Dodge driver we've talked to, and there's not many of you guys. So what's kind of the plan for you guys as the Dodge drivers to really kind of be the underdogs in this fight?
Oh, right now, yeah, I think I'm the only one. But I hear, rumor has it, there's a couple other guys that are going to join the Dodge campaign. Right now, I'm just trying to improve my finishes and try to get as many top 10s as I can.
Well, you definitely are no stranger to this series. You've seen a number of drivers come and go, but who do you think is the driver to watch for this season?
There's just too many to pick from. I really can't pick a favorite. I mean, I think there's a pretty powerful team with the Hamill, Macduff, and Marinac clan there. That's gonna be a tough one to battle with. And then you got Sean as his own little independent guy there. He's pretty fast too. And you know, a lot of guys put a lot of time into this program and try to run their races really well and clean. And there's a tough group of guys to run with. But you know, I really think that Empire racing team there, that's going to be the one to challenge everybody.
Well, I've asked a number of drivers this same question, but we've got 15 races on the schedule, each one at a different track. Which track are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, I don't even know if we're going to run my favorite one in the fall season. I like Lanier the most. I don't think that's on the schedule, though.
Oh, it is. Week 5.
Oh, there we go. That's the one. I love Lanier.
Well, you'll definitely be looking forward to November 29th, the Mighty Midget 161 at Lanier, and that's definitely probably one of the smaller tracks on this series. This track is definitely one about the short track. So what is it about that track that you're really looking forward to?
I was probably where I accrued my very first ever top 5 with the asphalt late model. I finished 3rd or 4th. I just missed the top 3 last year with the Racing for a Cause clan, and that was a good run. And I started to really figure the track out. And that was when I started to kind of figure these cars out too, because I'm still trying to get used to them myself. But from the dirt side of things, that's my track. I love Lanier.
Well, I definitely saw how much you loved it in the home track series when we were running around that track every week in the modifieds. But now you've got to do the paved version of this. But before I take over this whole show, KR, is there anything you'd like to ask Mr. Macduff here?
Wayne, you're out here for the Upstate Racing League practice session in this beautiful One Small Step car with Cerebral Palsy Foundation on the hood. What is that all about?
Well, the One Small Step for Prader-Willi syndrome is there's a guy that is pretty local to here. His son has that, and he's big into the racing community and everything. Well, from where I'm from, at least local, up in New York, and it's a pretty tough illness to deal with. And then with the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, my middle brother Cody suffered from that his whole life, and it's been a battle. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
Well, man, Wayne, carrying a wonderful paint scheme on that car, doing it a great justice, and we look forward to seeing you throughout this season here in the Upstate Racing League, man. And can't wait for this to kick off.
Thanks, guys. And I got to give a shout out to my brother Justin. He's the one that did this car for me.
All right, well, there you go. Justin not able to make it out here tonight. But, Wayne, we're going to let you go, and we're going to move on, bud.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
That is Wayne Macduff driving the 413. All right, so, you know what? Going through the list here, how about we talk about Andy Lambert in the 70 machine? Any objections there?
Lambert in the 70. I'm actually seeing a bit of a confliction here with the
In 23.
70.
I'm sorry. I'm used to him being 70.
I think someone else stole his number away. I think he's actually he's registered for the 77 for the season. I think tonight he's in the 23. A little bit of a mix up, but he's definitely gonna be a face to watch here this season.
Andy Lambert, this is KR and Kelly. You got your 5 minutes of fame. Blow us away.
Yeah, 5 minutes of fame. Let's see. Came here. I spotted for AJ Hamill last season, and got to know Al and saw the professionalism that these guys have with this league. So I decided to give it a shot this year. The competition over on this side at Upstate Racing League is very high. So I just have some realistic goals of finishing races, getting some top 10s, and having fun. So that's pretty much it. I hope everybody enjoys the season. Al, AJ, and Justin do a hell of a job putting this thing on. Put a lot of time and money and effort into this. It really blows me away of how good of a job they really do with this. So it's going to be an awesome season, and I can't wait for it to get started.
Well, you're a guy like me, moved from behind the mic to behind the wheel. Hopefully it goes a bit better for you. I kind of just got slapped in the face and went, hey, you're behind the mic for a reason. So hopefully your season goes a lot better than my attempt during the approval series.
Yeah, the new build that iRacing has for these cars doesn't really suit my driving style, but I will try to adapt here and get more seat time and just try to stay out of everybody's way. And, like I said, just realistic goals. Finish in the top 10, finish on the lead lap each race, and just have fun is the main thing for this season.
All right, well, Andy, that 23 machine looks very good sitting still. I can't wait to see it actually moving and turn some laps.
Yeah, this is a throwback paint scheme of sorts to a late model that I used to help work on. The driver was Scott Dragon out of Vermont, here where we're from, and he had a Labatt blue car that was similar to this, and I thought I would bring that paint scheme back. It's very clean and very sharp looking. The kind of paint scheme that I like. It's not crazy with a bunch of different colors everywhere. So I'm excited to run it, and I have another alternate paint scheme that'll have the Labatt blue light colors on it. It'll be a white car. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they look good, and we'll see how it goes. I have another special paint scheme. I think there'll be 3 schemes through the season here that I'm still finishing up on. So it'll be cool to switch it up, and there's a lot of good looking cars out here. I mean, just running this practice, I'm really amazed on how good everybody did with their cars and the effort they put into painting these things. They look fantastic.
All right, well, before we let you go, Kelly, any last questions for Mr. Lambert?
Well, you're again one of the rookies here, and you've got I'd say almost maybe a bit of an advantage, because you said you've spotted for AJ Hamill, so you've been able to watch these guys just a little bit more than some of the other rookies. Do you think that'll maybe give you a bit of an edge over these guys, as you kind of know what to expect for, over the course of a full season?
Normally, I would say, yeah, maybe a little bit of an advantage, more than a normal rookie, but with the new build and the way it is, I'm just going to be hanging on. I'm going to be, just like I said, trying to stay out of trouble and log as many laps as I can and try to get used to this thing. This is a tough bunch. The competition level is pretty fierce. So just finishing on the lead lap or finishing in the top 10 will be a win for me this season.
Well, thank you very much for coming and talking to us, Andy. We're going to let you go and get yourself back onto the track for the rest of this practice time, and hopefully we'll hear from you again throughout the season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting this and bringing it out to the masses over the internet. And you guys do a wonderful job as always. Have a good night.
That
was
is. Go ahead.
Going right that's Andy Lambert, one of those guys making the jump from spotting to racing, and like I said, hopefully it turns out better for him than it did for me.
Yeah, but I mean, your career's really gone downhill now that you've ended up in the broadcast booth with me.
I don't think I was ever somebody to begin with.
I feel like talking to Mark Royer in the 36 machine right now as he sits on pit road. Mark, are you there? Do you got your ears on?
Hello.
Well, hello, Mark. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, no, I can't hear you.
All right, so Mark can't hear us. Kelly, maybe can you see if he can hear you?
Mark, have you got a copy on me? Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't seem like Mark is actually able to hear us, but Mark Royer, this is going to be his second season in this series. He placed 14th overall last season. He had 4 top 10s to his name. Didn't have any laps led throughout the season, but we've seen a lot of drivers, their first season out, not that great, and then the second season is where they really break out. So definitely watch for Mark Royer in that 36 machine. Maybe he'll have something to prove this season.
All right. Well, I struck out on that one. You got one that you would like to talk to?
We're starting to run out of names here, but I don't think we've talked to the driver of the 34 machine. That is Jeremy Watkins.
All right, let's get a word in with Jeremy Watkins as he is driving that 34 machine. And Kelly, why don't you take this one away?
Jeremy, it's Kelly and KR up in the booth. Have you got a copy on us? All right, it sounds like we're going 2 in a row without being able to hear the driver. This is not going well for us, but Jeremy Watkins, another one of our many, many rookies that have come up through the approval series. And a quick side note on that approval series, that is something this league runs before the season starts. We did show the last race of the season here, but they just run a short series where I think it was about 4 races long. They're not looking for fast drivers. They're looking for the drivers that will fit this league. We've mentioned that many times, not just ourselves, but the drivers themselves have also mentioned that this is a league with a lot of respect. They're finding drivers that aren't going to really rock the boat. They're looking for the guys that are just going to run with everyone else and just be, a clean driver on the racetrack. They're not looking for someone that's going to come in there and just do bump and runs all night long. Like it's short track racing. Bump and runs are going to happen, but there's no need for them to happen twice a lap every lap. So they're looking for the clean guys, and that's what really makes this league so fun, is that pretty much every driver out there is respectful, and it just comes down to that approval series.
The final race was broadcasted here on MaxSpeedTV, and it was an amazing race. So if that is anything to go for the Pro Series, I can't wait for it.
Well, I think looking at the names, I think we've just got one left up there that we haven't talked to, and I think that might be Dylan Canova.
I got Dylan Canova in the 70 machine here tonight. Dylan, you got your ears on?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Oh, we got one! Woo!
We got one.
Strike out.
After 2 in a row without one, we finally got a driver that's listening here.
You know what? You go fishing long enough, you're bound to catch something.
That's very true.
All right, Dylan, a Rookie of the Year. You're going for the Brian Rogers Motorsports Rookie of the Year as you show us your awesome skills on the brakes there. Tell us a little bit about what has brought you to the Upstate Racing League and what we expect to see from you this season.
Well, I actually raced with the guys back in 2014, I believe, on their second and third seasons, and then took a break from iRacing, and just glad to be back. And really, I'd like to say we'd go out there and win some, but it's gonna be tough with this crowd. So I'd be really ecstatic with some top 5s.
Well, the car looking very fast here tonight for you. Right now, you're in 7th on the speed charts. So it looks like maybe the time away, you haven't missed too much of a beat.
Yeah, been working. I ran the approval series, helped quite a bit, so that actually kind of played into my favor that they have that. So it kind of let me get back used to the car and get used to driving with everybody. But yeah, we're not too far off. Got a little bit we can gain in various places.
All right, Will, or I'm sorry, not Will, Kelly. What kind of questions you got for Dylan?
Well, Dylan, we got a long season. We're starting October 18th, running all the way to February 28th. 15 races in between, each one at a different track. I've asked this question many times tonight, but everyone's got a different answer, and it's always great to hear someone's opinions on these tracks. But what is the track you're looking forward to this season?
We go to USA, right? So that's definitely going to be my chance to make something happen. It's home track to me, so I don't know why, but it always seems to work out well for me there.
At December 13th, the NHR 100 will be definitely going to USA International, and that is quite the interesting track. A bit of almost similar to Martinsville, which we do go to as well. A bit of the long straightaways and the tight corners, but not quite at the same level as Martinsville. So, yeah, definitely a fun race to look forward to. But you said you don't really know. Is there actually a reason you're good there, or is it just only the home track advantage?
I think it's the home track advantage. It's the mentality of going somewhere where you're familiar with, and always seems to work out my way up front.
Well, you definitely, when you go to USA International, we'll look for your car and see if you're going to be barging to the front with a bit of a chip on your shoulder, trying to defend that hometown honor. And hopefully at the end of that night, we'll be able to talk to you up here once again.
Yeah, that would be quite the feat.
All right, that is Dylan Canova in the 70. Well, our driver list is getting shorter and shorter. We got about 16 minutes left. We got time for a few more.
I think we've talked to everyone that's left, though.
Have we?
I'm looking at the names. I'm thinking we've got everyone that's still up there.
Yeah, Jeremy Watkins is in, yeah.
We tried talking to him. We tried
him. Tony Rice is saying he's muted. But Tony in that 64, I have seen him out on track, so I don't know. What are you?
I guess he just doesn't want to talk to us. So, but he's definitely been turning some laps. It's another one of these rookies. Every season they bring in a lot of new names to just kind of replace that attrition that eventually happens. You know, some guys just have to take a step away from iRacing, as we heard from our previous driver. But Tony Rice is one of those guys coming in to try to make a name for himself here. He's, I wouldn't say like high up on the speed chart, but at the same time, you've got guys like Steph Marinak who aren't high on the speed chart, that maybe he's just kind of cruising around, logging some laps, not looking for the fast time, just looking for the steady time. And maybe in a couple weeks' time, Tony Rice might be one of those sleepers.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if we do get these surprise drivers pop up with this, you know, come from behind underdog kind of story situation. But, you know, this has been a fun media night. First time for me doing a kind of sort of meet and greet. Kelly, what are your thoughts on something like this to introduce a new league to a new broadcast channel for them? And how would you say this has gone tonight?
I think it's gone very well. I mean, you get to learn about some of these drivers, and just as a commentator, that kind of just gives us ammunition to work with throughout the season, and gives us something to talk about that we can kind of call back to this night when we're maybe a few weeks down the road and we're talking about these guys racing around a different track. We can maybe call back to say, hey, well, this guy was looking forward to this track, but we'll have to take a look and see what he's going to do tonight. So it's also a good way to introduce this series to the fans that really we've seen, like you mentioned, there's a guy from Belgium watching this, and maybe now every Thursday, or I don't even know what time it is over there. Maybe it's not even Thursday anymore. It's maybe Friday morning. Maybe that guy from Belgium will be showing up every week now to and maybe he's found himself a driver that he kind of wants to cheer for. So I think it's just a fun way to introduce this league to not just ourselves, but also to the people that are watching.
Yeah, I would agree, and it would really make for almost like a chance at doing politics. Your first impressions tend to stick with you for a while. So, what was everyone's first impression for this, and is it going to be a correct one, or are they going to be pleasantly surprised by somebody else?
No, I'm hoping some surprises pop up through the season because, I mean, that's racing. You can't just put down and say, hey, I think Cucker's going to run away with this once again. But I'm a little disappointed Cucker isn't here tonight because I'm sure he'd be up towards the front of those speed times. And we've mentioned him in passing a few times, but I think just to put it in perspective for those people that didn't watch this last season, he only started 14 of the 15 races. Out of those 14 races, he won 8 of them. This guy was absolutely unreal last season, and even if he didn't start on pole every race and just run away with it. He was the guy that would have that long haul car. He was a lot better at the long stretches, and in this league, considering how respectful and clean they are, you want to have a long stretch car. You don't want to be there for the short runs in between cautions because there's a number of races we've had where they've gone caution free, so he's able to really adapt to the changing track conditions because in iRacing, the track is alive. The track will heat and cool depending on where people are driving, and he's able to change up his line. He'll be the first guy you'll see go into the high line once he realizes, hey, this is actually the tires are working a bit better up here, and it's a little faster up here, and you'll see him move up there first, and that's really, I think, his really defining trait is the fact that he can change on the fly and really adapt to the changing conditions on the track.
All right, Kelly. So a wonderful night here. A lot of information that these drivers were giving out, and your experience with these guys has really made this build up for the start of the season to be October 18th. Going to be a heck of a show. I, for one, cannot wait for it. I do want to say that we will have one other commentator that will be joining us. And that will be Roger Muth. And we look forward to him being in the booth with us as well. But Kelly, I say we start wrapping this up. What more could be said about this meet and greet, build up, whatever you want to call this, as we wait patiently but very anxiously for the start of the season?
I think all that can be said now is in 2 weeks' time, tune in right here because this may just be a meet and greet, but these guys are ready to race. And for those of you that missed the final race of the approval series, or maybe haven't watched these guys race before, if you like short track racing, if you like late models, you want to watch these guys. These are some fast drivers, and they will put on a show for you.
All right, Kelly. Well, I'll tell you what, I am very excited about what's coming down. I cannot wait for the 18th of October right here on MaxSpeedTV, going live shortly before 8 p.m. Central. It will be a heck of a show, heck of a race. And if anything goes to show for tonight, as far as for the future, these guys all very close on times, and we will see a whole heck of a lot of great battles all season long. So Kelly, one last time, any final goodbyes and things we should look out for?
Well, like I said, tune in 2 weeks' time. I've really talked it up, and like I said, I've watched these guys race before. I tried my hand racing with them. I could keep up with some of these guys in the dirt. So that kind of got me built up and said, hey, well, maybe I'll try doing this on the pavement. I got smoked. I got absolutely smoked, and, it kind of just told me, hey, stay behind the microphone. You're good at talking. You're not too good at driving. So these guys are extremely fast, so and like I said, they're very respectful. You're not going to see some guy just dump the other guy for the lead. You may see a bump and run because, it's short track racing, but they are going to be very respectful. So I think at the end of the night, you can go home, you can watch this race and just be happy with the result, just enjoying the race that happened and not have it soured by a stupid move late in the end.
All right, guys, so that will wrap it up for us. Wonderful insight from Kelly Dahl, a broadcaster coming up with URL here to MaxSpeedTV. Kelly, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've greatly appreciated it, and your insight has been wonderful.
And thank you so much for having me on. It's just fantastic to be here talking about these guys again. Like I said, it's always fun to watch these guys. It's been, last season was probably one of the most fun seasons I've had behind the microphone. I mean, I've commentated on a lot of different series, and this has definitely been one of my favorites. So, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to the start of the race on the 18th, or start of the season on the 18th.
Alright, well guys, that is going to do it for us. YouTube chat, thank you very much for participating. And guys, I hope everyone had fun. This was a wild and a very interesting experiment for us here on MaxSpeedTV. And don't forget, set your clock, set your alarm, set whatever you need to set to be right back here October 18th for race number 1 of a 15 points race season, 16 total races, as we will have one all-star event as well. So guys, thank you very much for joining me and Kelly, and we look forward to the start in 2 weeks' time. Y'all have a good night.